Hello everyone, my name is Jeffrey. Welcome back for episode 43 of the Satisfactory series here on YouTube. In this video we push forward with part 2, more preparations for nuclear power. Adding in some concrete and a bunch of copper production moves us closer to our electromagnetic control rods and uranium fuel rods. Thank you for all the support and help with the series so far. Let's get to playing games. Alright, we're back with step 2 of our working towards nuclear power. We've got a whole bunch of things to do today. We've got some 503 steel ingots to take care of, 120 concrete, 24 encased pipes. That's going to be making some, the steel ingot and the concrete is going to be making some encased pipes. We're going to be setting up a whole bunch of copper refineries for wire. A whole bunch of copper refineries to make some wire, some sheets, some stators, some AI limiters, and if we got time at the very end, we'll throw in some deuterium refineries. What an absolute crazy day this is going to be. Hopefully I can make this somewhat easy to follow along if you're like me and you're getting into nuclear power and you're a little bit confused. Well, I'm trying to take this nice and slow, figure things out as we go along. So today we're going to need, if you don't use blueprints, then I'll give you the numbers here. You're going to need 7 foundries, 76 constructors, 4 minor Mark IIs, and 69 refineries. Nice. So we're going to load up on a whole bunch of stuff. I actually have most of my things over there already ready to go in some storage containers. And we're going to go back over to where we set up our petroleum coke last time in the Rocky Desert. I've got a much larger concrete platform laid out for us, so we can just kind of jump into it today. So let's not waste any more time and we'll head right on over. But thank you guys again for being here so much. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for coming back watching. If you're new here, hello, welcome. Appreciate you being here. If you're coming back, hey, how you doing? But yeah, let's head on over. Let's shoot ourselves off in this hypertube cannon on top of the brick building. And I will meet you guys when we get over there. There we go. Made it on over here. No problem. You can see I have now added a much larger concrete platform here. I did use the blueprint that adds a subfloor as well, just in case I need it for anything. We'll probably be moving a few things around from here to there. But the way we're going to set this up, like I said, we're going to start with doing the steel ingots, which is going to be taking a bunch of this petroleum coke. Actually, this is the 1200 petroleum coke per minute. So we're going to be using... I just realized I actually don't need 1200, but yeah, I don't know why. I must have done some miscalculations for me to think I needed 1200 petroleum coke over here. I'm probably going to cut some of this down because I only needed 452.25. So I only need like, I don't know, four of these instead of all of them. Whoops. So we'll get that cut down a little bit later on, but for now we'll just we'll worry about doing what we need to do, which is going to be bringing the iron from right there. But the really nice thing about the steel encased beams we're going to be making is we got the iron ore right here, which is pure because we need 452. There's actually 2 pure nodes right there if you needed them, if you wanted to make this even bigger. Then there's a pure limestone node right here, which is going to give us the 360 limestone per minute that we're going to need. If you used a wet concrete recipe, you could get away with a not pure limestone node. And then we're going to be using 452.25 petroleum coke, and I brought way too much. I think I was originally planning on doing this build. So at the end of all this, our nuclear power output should add another 100,000 gigawatts to our power grid, I think, or it was 100 or 150,000. I can't really remember which one it was. My original plan was 250,000, so I think that's where the 1200 petroleum coke was coming from. But yeah, so we're only it's going to be, I can't remember now exactly off the top of my head. It's either 100,000 or 150,000. That I'm pretty sure that should be enough to get us to the end of the game, or at least to the end of the series for sure. If it's not, I'll be absolutely shocked. Anyway, let's make some steel ingots, shall we? So let's say if the Iron ore is going to come in under here. Let's maybe start there, and we'll take from these ones. And I'll start on this side. So I don't have any foundry blueprints. I will be using some blueprints as we're going. More towards like the refineries and the constructors, since we need to be putting down so many. I'll use my blueprints. But for the small stuff like this, I don't really have anything set up yet. But you guys are welcome to send me some blueprints for me to use in the future. Just head on over to the Discord link in the description, or also in the video info. I think it's in there too. But yeah, either way, you can hop in there. We talk about all things Satisfactory. You'll know when other things are going on content-wise, when I'm live streaming and things like that. I'll be live on Twitch pretty soon when I try doing a Pal World playthrough. I've never really got much of a chance to dive into it, but I'd like to give it a go. So one thing I just wanted to mention, I know I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot without actually doing very much work. Someone in the comments let me know that, because I was always having a problem with my blueprints of how big things actually were, or so like say when I would take a big one like this, you get that big bar across the screen there, and it just gets in the way so much of actually trying to build. But if you hit T, it all goes away. So that's perfect. So I'm definitely going to be, definitely didn't know about that. I'm definitely going to be using that going forward so I can actually see things when I'm building. And hopefully that actually makes it a little bit easier to follow along for you guys as well. So there's a little tip that I'm learning. Even almost 300 hours into the game, I'm still learning new tips. So always keep them coming. So to get started, like I said, we're going to be grabbing 7 foundries, as we need to be outputting 603. Oh, this is 6.1 foundries. Okay, I'm going to put down 6, and then we'll see how many it outputs. And if I have to overclock one by a tiny little bit, then I'll probably just do that instead of building a whole 7th one. So I don't want to waste too much space. So let's go actually face them like this. 1, 2, 3 like that. And then we'll turn the other ones around this way. 1, 2, and 3. That way I can just put a manifold line down between them. So I don't want to do a manifold line. We want to do one along the bottom like this. And then the other one will be, let's do 2, and then we can probably just make it a stubby. That's not lined up, is it? Not even close. There we go. So we're just going to take the one off the bottom. And I should be able to get little stubbies on here. There we go. Just like that. Just the little stubbers. We're going to do that on the same side here. There we go. That'll be, we can make that the iron or the petroleum coke, doesn't really matter. They also didn't have to be Mark V conveyor lifts, but I want them to be. Just moving everything as fast as we can. And this is so much easier to see when you use T to hide the HUD while you're building. I can see everything. There we go. Got the coke steel recipe. They output 100 per minute, which means since I need 603, it would make me add a 7th one just to put 3 more. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a power shard in here, and I'm going to give this guy a bonus of 3. So it's wildly unfortunate that you need the 0.25 extra just because of this 3 extra that we need, but it's going to work out, and there'll be fairly even numbers. The only one that has really weird numbers is this input, and then some of the copper numbers get a little weird too, but it'll be okay. Honestly, looking at this now, I feel like this could easily be a blueprint. So I feel like, I mean, I haven't done a lot of steel stuff where I actually use the foundries. A lot of times I use refineries. So we'll kind of see like what the best options are going forward. I'll probably throw this into a blueprint at some point anyway, just in case anyone needs it. And then you can download it through the Google Drive that I have set up for you guys. Which, just a quick reminder, link for that is down below as well. It has the link to Google Drive, which gives you access to all my blueprints for free, all my world saves for free. I mean, I only started doing it as like episode 40 something, or yeah, we haven't been doing it very long, but and then there's also a community blueprint section that you can check out and see if you find anything in there that's useful. Okay, let's move on. I feel like I'm just chatting away here today and not actually accomplishing much. We need to get some work done on this episode. So that is the 503 steel ingots taken care of. It's actually 603. I don't know why I thought it was 503. So now I'm going to do the 8 constructors for concrete. I mean, I guess I can use my blueprints here. That won't be too big of a deal. So let's go to our 4 constructor manifold like this. We'll go 1 and 2. Because we only need 8. And then we'll set all of these to do concrete. No underclocking, no overclocking. Just the typical 15 per minute. We're looking for, I'll get these connected together as well. We're looking for a total of 120 concrete per minute. Which is 15 times 8, right? Nailed it. Look at those math skills. It's like we're a professional. Oh yeah, I got to connect this back line here. There we go. All right, so just moving things along. We have our merger line on the steel ingot line. It's only 603, so it can be one line of on the Mark V conveyor belts. And it's all feeding into 20 constructors, so it can just go straight ahead this way. So these 8 constructors doing concrete, they're going to be feeding into, along with the steel pipe, they're going to be feeding into our encased industrial pipe recipe. So we're going to need to feed this into the 20 constructors first, where we're also going to be using our handy dandy blueprint. So we're going to go ahead and put in, how does this work? So I need 168 steel pipes going to the encased industrial pipe, and then I need 234 going to, what is that? Stators. So we're going to go, how many does each of these make? 20. So this would be 80. So I'll need 2 of these plus 1 constructor for the 168. Or I can always just overclock it. Yeah, I'll probably just overclock it since it's just for 8. So I need two blueprints of these. We'll feed the encased industrial pipe, and then what's 20 divided by 234? So 12. So I'll need 3. So 2 for pipe, or sorry, 2 for encased industrial pipe, and 3 for the stators. That's easy. All right, we're gonna get our head in the game. Start now. Here we go. So we have 1. Make sure it's facing the right way. I want to make sure the belts are going that way. Correct. Okay, that's good. And then I need another 3. We'll go 1, 2, and 3. That'll feed the stators. So now you just want to connect their belts up here together. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this with a splitter. And then we're going to split some of it going this way and the rest of it going this way. All right, so we got our constructors in. And like I said, we're going to overclock one of these by 8. So we don't have to add an extra one. And for these ones, you're going to do 234 divided by 12, 19 and a half. So you can downclock all of these to 19 and a half per minute. If you want to keep it even. There we go. So now I'm just going to connect the couple belts in here that we need to, and then we can move on to setting up our first bit of assemblers. And then once we kind of get an idea where the assembler is going to go, we're going to move on to the mass amount of the biggest part of this project. I think is going to be the copper, because there's so many or refineries and constructors, and it's going to be copper is a big chunk here. And the reason copper is such a big chunk is because I'm actually using the fused quick wire alternate recipe to save myself on Caterium. Otherwise, you'd be using well over 1,000 Caterium for this entire build, whereas now I've got it under 450. So yeah, now we can do the assemblers for the encased industrial pipe, which are going to take the steel pipes from this line right here. It's going to take the concrete from this line right here, and it's going to mush them together, probably right here. That's why I added so I'm glad I added the subfloor, because I can use the subfloor to send the concrete over. And then I can just kind of set these up like this. The encased industrial pipe is actually, they're just going to feed into a sink for now, because it's going to be, they don't get used until the very last step of this project. So they're a nice, easy, once they're done and set up, we can start letting the machines back up. And I think I'm going to add in smart sinks kind of as we go along, so I can actually fire this factory up in segments and start having things actually running. And then we'll just connect it all together in the end. So go ahead and grab your 3 assembler blueprint. If you don't have it already, you can go, like I said, go ahead and check out the Google Drive. You can have it, or if you don't have one, if you want to make it yourself, they're super easy. So we're just going to go ahead and make sure these are actually facing the right way. We like that. And then make sure they're turned, because I want the outputs on the outside. So there is our 6, and we'll set those to be the alternate encased, whatever you want to call it. Alternate encased industrial pipe right there. And then no underclocking or overclocking. Just go ahead and set those up as 100%. There we go. There's going to be our section for the encased industrial pipe. It is going to feed, like I said, into an awesome sink just for now until we get the rest of this factory all set up and ready to go. Then these are actually going to be coming into play. So we'll go ahead and we'll get these all set up and running. So we got our 120 concrete. We'll need to bring over the limestone from there. Like I said, we'll just run it straight underneath. We'll bring it up into our subfloor here. Same thing with the iron there. I'll give you a quick double check on the numbers as I'm bringing them over. But that's going to be the last step for the 120 concrete and the 24 encased pipes on our to-do list. And we can finally move on to copper. And all the copper comes from... What a great question. I totally forgot where all the copper comes from. It's around here somewhere. I'll just scan for it really quick. Copper, where'd you go? There's one. Yeah, I think it's that one, and I think it's that one. It's a mix of a few together, because like I said, we need quite a bit. All right, so we got our limestone and our iron here set up. So like I said, just to double check on the numbers, you got 452.25 per minute coming out of your iron ore miner here. It's a pure iron node, so that's fine. And then you have a pure limestone node over here, so you're gonna be taking 360, 1 power shard here, 2 power shards there. Nice and easy. So we can actually go ahead and get those hooked up to power here, so they can go ahead and start filling up their system. And then we'll move on to we'll start hooking everything up over here, because yeah, this doesn't have any power yet or anything. Okay, so we have the iron hooked up already, but we need to bring the petroleum coke over. So I'm going to have to give these a little bit of an adjustment. I'm going to turn these off for now. And in terms of output, I changed these over to 113.062 per minute. It was basically 452.25, which is the amount of petroleum coke I need, divided by these 4 refineries right here, because that should be plenty. And then I just downclock them to this number right here. And that should be hopefully enough. We'll find out as this actually starts to get going. So we're going to turn all of these mergers to face the other direction. All right, there we go. It's all turned around, and I got it into a little stubby lift over here. I can take this splitter away, because that's just how I was getting the stubby up there. Drag that across like that, and then I can turn these bad boys back on. I'll have to give them a second, because they were not full up on heavy oil residue, but they should be easily filling up now. Okay, so I'm actually going to leave them off just for a second, so that I can you know, get everything else fired up and running before, so that all the petroleum coke doesn't just get backed up. So let's go ahead and throw in some power for all these bad boys, because this is all hooked up together now. The only other thing I have to hook up is the inputs for this line right here, which is these pipes and that concrete. But let's go ahead and fire. Actually, let's do that first. So let's go. I need a floor hole over here. And then we'll drag that underneath to over there. And then I won't worry about sending this one underneath. I'll just do this one from above. So I'll do like floor hole here. That's not where that was supposed to go. I clicked that so fast. There we go. So it's going to go like that. Floor hole will be there. And then the other one we'll do is a lift up to the top there. All right. I know it's nighttime, but I think you should still be able to see stuff pretty easily. And I want to get things fired up. So let's go ahead and I got my refineries turned back on. Let's go ahead and connect our foundries up first. So they can start pumping out the steel ingots. They're going to have to get loaded up first. And then, oh, that actually connected a bunch of these. Oh, I don't have power connected to these, do I? See? There we go. Everybody's connected there. That'll be my concrete. I see steel ingots starting to roll out. So we can start to plug these in. So that'll be all the pipes. And I already see concrete filling up the assemblers over here. And they're also starting to get steel, so we can hook those up as well. And I see yellow, that's fine. That just means they haven't gotten their items yet. Oh, this one I forgot. I need to connect into a smart sink for now, or an awesome sink as well for now. I forgot all about that. There we go. So the reason these pipes are just going to get sunk for now is because I haven't actually set up the things we're going to need for these steel pipes go to the stators. So I need to start work on my copper. But for now, I just wanted everything up and running so we can get things all balanced out. I mean, hopefully at least anyway. And hopefully this is also easy to follow if you're trying to build along with me or build something similar. So far we have our foundries doing our steel ingots. We got our constructors for concrete. We got our two sets of constructors for pipes, and then our encased industrial pipe. I'll link down below the actual like Satisfactory calculator build that I'm using as well, in case you just want to build the same build but not in the exact same way. And it's all just kind of set ready to go for you. It has all the alternate recipes and everything input for you. We're using a good handful in this build, so make sure you've got I've got most of the alternate recipes unlocked by this point. We've done a lot of hard drive hunting, and I think we're getting pretty close to having most of them, aside from like some of the ones that I don't use as much. I've kind of just skipped over those, but so that is going to take a couple things off the to-do list. Forgot to take the 120 concrete off the to-do list, and then we got the 24 encased pipes. That's done as well. So it looks like we're about halfway done our to-do list for today. So now we can hop on to the copper. So before I worry about bringing anything over, I'm going to figure out how I kind of want to lay these out. So I did write down a little bit at least how I want to split them up, because there is a few groups. This is the biggest part of the build by far. You're moving the most amount of items. We actually need multiple connector lines. So we need, what does it look like? Let me take a look back at my Satisfactory calculator here. So it looks like I'm definitely going to be using my blueprint for pure. So these are all making pure copper ingots. So I'm going to be using not that refinery. Let me go to the refinery for pure ingot refineries. There we go. So we're going to be using those. And then, so for this one, this is going to be feeding into a constructor set for wire. So I need exactly 9, which is kind of perfect. So So we're going to go... We'll figure where we want to put these, because we also have to bring in water. We can just bring in the water from over there, but also a few water spots below me. Let's say we're actually going to go like this. So we're going to go one there, 2, 3. So that's the 9 I need for sending things to copper wire. Then I need 14. I'm actually going to make this, I'm just going to make this platform bigger, I think. Or I'll turn them. I need 14 for 520 copper sheets. Can I do this? Alright, so I split that group into 2 groups of 7, just because it seemed easiest. And I just, like I did 2 blueprints. I just added a second one, or one extra on the end. So that is going to make 520 total. So let me go ahead and actually set these up properly first. So this line, like I said, does 312. So it's 312 divided by 9. 312 divided by 9, which is 34.66667. We'll just copy 312 divided by 9. We'll actually input the recipe here, which is pure copper ingot. Paste that in there. 34.67 or 34.667 per minute. Copy that bad boy. Paste that onto everyone here. That's your copper ingots for your wire. Done. Then you're going to come to these. This is 520 divided by 14. Very weird number. So we're just going to copy the exact thing there. Again, copper ingot. Paste it on there. 37.14, just a very small down clock on this one. So that is 2 of the 3 lines of the copper ingots we're going to be making. Now for the harder one, the 29 or 30 that I'm going to need for the fused, sending it to the fused quick wire, which is going to be 1058.33 per minute. So I think I can do that in 2. If I do 2, I could do 2 groups of 15. Do it in 3, I could do, yeah, but then I'd have to, well, actually, yeah, so we do 3, and then we'll just split 1 to merge with the other, and that'll be the 2 lines I need to send to the other thing. Okay, that'll work. Yeah, so we'll do 3 lines of 10. There we go, 3 lines of 10. That should be, I'm trying to leave myself enough space so I can kind of figure out how everything's going to work. But yeah, this should be pretty straightforward. So this stuff actually gets mixed. Everything that it gets output from here is going to get mixed with Petroleum, which I'm pretty sure gets brought in from over there. So that's perfect. So I can kind of expand this side out, and we'll build the fused quick wire over here. Because that quick wire, or some of the quick wire, eventually has to go into, get mixed with some copper sheets for AI limiters, and then the other quick wire gets mixed into a whole bunch of other stuff for the infused uranium cells. So we've got a whole bunch of things going on here, like I said. But for now, let's just kind of run through. We'll hook up all our pipes and our belts, and all our power lines that need to be hooked up to these guys, and then we can start. Actually, here. So what we'll do, I'll do my constructors, and then I'll hook up, I'll do a little montage where I hook up like pipes, belts, power, all that stuff. And then I'll jump back in with you guys when we hook up all the copper that's going to feed the system. Sound good? Sounds good. Okay, so yeah, let's do constructors. Let's figure out how this is going to work. So let's go back to my picture here. Fortunately not one I drew, but this would be quite something to draw. I'm not sure if I could actually handle it. So this is going to be, so we got our encased industrial, so that part of my thing is done. Now I need to put in constructors doing wire, and they get mixed with these pipes here. That's what makes the stators. Okay, so we're going to put in 20 constructors here, which would be 5 of my blueprint. Sorry, it's actually 21 constructors I need for this. So I added one more constructor in the end, and in the you'll see in the When I go to do the montage, I'll hook all this stuff up. But yeah, so 21 constructors for wire. It is 624 per minute. So we go 624 divided by 21 to get that number. Or actually, you know what I'll do? I'll just leave everything. We'll leave everything clocked the way it is. And then this last one. This last one I'll just set to do 24. So it doesn't get too crazy on us. The other ones can just be normal copper wire. Okay, my bad. Forgot to update the to-do list again. We got our copper refineries done. I mean, they're not hooked up, but they're laid out. We have... Okay, we got the constructors for the wire done. Now we got to do the constructors for the sheets. And that is 26 exactly. Ooh, that's nice. So a little 26 divided by 4. So I need 6.5 of my blueprints. So I'll need 2 lines of 3. And then... Or sorry, yeah, 2 lines of... How do I say this? What? I don't know why my brain had such a problem communicating what I was just trying to communicate just now, but these are the constructors of the copper sheet. So you got 4 here, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 26. I don't know why I struggled so much on that, but here we are. They're laid out now, so that is finally the constructors for the copper wire and the copper sheets. We gotta go ahead and set these. These are no underclocking or overclocking required. You can just set these as normal. All right, now we can finally hop into the assemblers for the stators and the AI limiters. So for the stators, you need 16 assemblers, and it gets wire and steel pipe. The steel pipe from here to be specific. And the wire comes from here. So we're going to go ahead and put these assemblers into, I'll split it into 2 groups of 8 because they can both be fed by 1 line each for the steel pipe and the wire. So I'm going to do this in, what do I have? 3s? So we're going to do 2 of these and we'll well, actually, I'll probably just do 3 and then delete 1 off the end. There we go. There you have 16 assemblers for stators. So these are going to be doing 78 per minute. So we're going to go ahead and grab our stator recipe. It's way down here somewhere. There you are. And then we're going to do... I think one of these needs to be downclocked to only make 3. Yeah, downclock one of your assemblers to only make 3. Unless you want to split them evenly, you can do that. But just downclock one of these to make 3. Actually, I'm going to split it evenly. This one's going to make 4, and this one's going to make 4. That way, because I'm going to have to split the 2 line. I'm going to split the 1 line coming in into the 2, and this should split it more evenly. There we go. There was 1 each from the line for a total of 2. Also, now we can go ahead and set up the 11 assemblers for the AI limiters. How am I going to want to do that? So they're going to get fed from these. And that was a long autosave I just had to wait for. So yeah, so the AI limiter assembler is getting fed from here. And as well as they'll get fed from some quick wire that's going to be coming from that side. So we're going to go ahead and put them in a line. Need 11. We can do... I'm going to do 12 and downclock them just so I can have like a nice... Just so I can have a nice little split here. So I'm going to do 2 lines of 6. We're 1. So we need 52 AI limiters per minute and we have 12 assemblers. So it's going to be 4.33333 per minute. I'll copy that. We will paste that onto here. Go out and paste that onto every machine, and that'll be the AI limiters ready to go. So that's our assemblers for our AI limiters and our stators taken off the list. So before we jump into adding in the Caterium into our line here, let's kind of figure out what we've got going on now. We do have to, we'll do the montage of hooking everything up here in just a few minutes. All right, I know I didn't mention it, but I just added it as a bonus before we jump into the montage here, because this was pretty easy. You have 13 assemblers for electromagnetic control rods, all at 100%. These are going to be, some of these are going to be doing, you're going to take from some of them, what do they do? 4? So yeah, you're going to be taking from 3 of these, 12, so 3 of these are going to combine together, not to the rest of them, which will probably be these ones right here on the end. And then we'll combine the rest of them together. These ones are going to send 40 to make our uranium fuel rods that we actually need to power our nuclear system. And then the other 12 get branched off and they get used in, I believe, my plutonium rod build, which recycles all our waste and turns us into a 100% efficient with no waste nuclear power setup for, like I said, it's either 100 or 150,000 megawatts, something like that. Anyway, let's jump in now to the montage where I just kind of connect everyone to some conveyor belts. And then we'll talk about, oh, I'm going to have to add in the water. So yeah, I probably won't have time to get to the Caterium refineries this episode because I also don't really know where I'm going to put them yet. But I think to polish off this episode, we'll do a couple of things. We'll do our little montage where we hook up all our power lines, our conveyor belts, all our pipes and stuff along here. And then I'll meet back with you guys. We'll bring over all the copper we're going to need. And then we'll end off the episode with a little bit of a water facility, probably down there somewhere. And we'll just have to pump the water over and we can hook it up into these refineries here. We don't need a ton. I think it's only like, yeah, it's like 8 water extractors. You need a total of 900 something water per minute. So nothing too crazy. But yeah, for now, let's jump into the montage where I'll just hook everything together. Logistics hooked up. I brought some water over. I actually hooked the water up to power. I'm just kind of waiting for it to actually make its way over. Did our little logistics. It's actually pretty simple connecting everything up because they're not like crazy huge numbers and they're pretty easy to split evenly. So I'll just quickly go over the numbers for the water and the copper that you're going to need. So we're bringing in water from all the way back here. And I am not seeing any come up yet. Did I not hook up the pump to the power? Maybe I didn't hook up the pump to power. That is correct. Or he's facing upside down. One of the two. But either way, I need to add a pump onto here. I think, right? Or do I not even need one? Yeah, I do. Okay. So we'll throw a pump on here. There we go. I just had to replace it back down and now it seems to be working. So you have 5 water extractors here, all set to do 100.8 per minute. And then I have an industrial fluid buffer for them to fill in too, just to prevent any sort of like back sloshing. So that's going to be pumped up into the system and then it is split. I mean, as long as the pipes are full, it only has to be one pipe. It's less than 600 water per minute. So you just bring it up here, pumping up the side wall here, and then it just splits in between all the refineries. Just split like 1, 2, 3, 4, so one line and it's split 6 ways. So once these actually start to fill up and back up, that'll be a little bit more confident with the water. Now for the copper, I'm bringing over from these 2 nodes over here. You can grab from this one too if you want, but I just grab these 2 because they're right next to each other. They are going to be merged together. And let me grab my quick numbers here. You're going to need some overclocking. 756.13 per minute divided by 2. So we got to go 756.13 divided by 2. 378.06 times. You know, copy. Sorry, that was bad math on my behalf. You do actually have to use all 3 copper miners. So I set this one to do the last 156.13, and then you get the other 600 from here, and then they all merge together into one line because it's 756.13. We can easily fit it under 780. They will all pump all along down here to feed up into the copper lines. So let's go ahead and hook these bad boys up to power so we can start filling some copper ore up along here. We'll get those ones going. We'll slowly be bringing us towards the end of our episode here. I see the water pipes have backed themselves up. Let's see if I actually have any. Looks like I have some pipeline issues. Oh, no, never mind. It's still just backing up. Okay, that makes sense. But I don't have any actual floor hole issues this time. What I see, as long as I see a little bit of water in the pipe, I know there's no actual floor hole issue. I'm going to see water trying to come in. So I don't think I have any pipeline floor hole issues. Yeah, it looks like everyone's getting water. It's going to take a minute for everyone to back up. All right, so we're starting to see some water pipes filled up, which is good. I've got some things kind of broken down and we'll be turning things on in different parts. So like these refineries I haven't hooked up yet because that'll just eat through a whole bunch of water. I want to make sure these three sets get set up first and then we'll kind of work our way around. So let's go ahead and grab ourselves a power line and actually get these things turned on. So I need to connect you. These 3 are all connected together. I believe you just go right in here. And that turns on some of my constructors as well, it looks like. What does this turn on? This turns on basically everything. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab our, starting to get a bit of lag here. Oh, I missed some connections in my power hookup. All right. Oh yeah. So I had some of these turned off just so we can do it in parts, so that I can make sure the water pipes stay full. So let's do this one at a time. We'll let them fill up and then we'll go to the next one and then we'll slowly start turning all this on. And then it should be fine. It shouldn't have any should be able to back itself up easier that way. There we go. Almost forgot to turn on my copper sheet constructors. Everything's starting to get a little bit more laggy now, so hopefully everything's okay for watching for you guys. I appreciate you guys bearing with me. My performance is definitely starting to take a bit of a struggle. Does make me miss the early game a little bit. Yeah, so all the first 3 sets of refineries seem to be backed up. The water pipes are almost full, so I'm just going to wait until those are completely full before I turn on these 3 back here. Especially since we're technically not really using these all that much. It's really just backed up on just the copper ore right now because they just feed right into these things for now. So we got lots and lots of copper sheets on the go. We're just waiting to fill everybody in, get all these backed up. They're already making sheets anyway that are just going to the sink because I'm not making the quick wire yet that I would need for the AI limiters. So we will have stators being made once I can go ahead and hook up this to here now. Oh wait, I think that was actually, yeah. It's like, that's actually where it's supposed to be. So there we go. We got pipes coming into the system now. That'll be for our stators. Once the stators are done, they'll just go into a sink for now. This is a crazy looking factory, but it looks really cool. This really reminds me of keeping everything like flat laid out like this really reminds me of Factorio. So we got our encased industrial beams being cranked out. They're no problem. They're working at 100% already. Let's just make sure everyone over here is nice and happy. Looks like we got plenty. We got the water all filled up here. Okay, well, I think we're ready to turn on the last refineries over here. And there we go. We got those 30. Oh, I see you. I see you, Mr. Redline. We'll just copy and paste onto there. It's going to be waiting a little bit. Does it have copper ore? Is it connected? Yeah, it's connected. Okay. Do I just not see the, I just don't see the copper ore coming in. It's an invisible belt. All right, so those are all hooked up and working. The water I may have to adjust going down the line, but I believe that brings us finally to the end of today's episode. A bit of a, I don't know if this will be shorter or longer. I've been recording for quite a while, so I'm not really sure, but yeah, I might have to cut it down quite a bit. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know down below. If I skipped over anything you really need me to show you, I can do it in Discord. If you're not part of the Discord, please join already. Maybe hit the subscribe button here on YouTube. Give me a like. Leave a little comment down below. I'll let you know how much I appreciate it. I always read all the comments and I always respond to them all. So yeah, thank you guys again so much for hanging out with me for another episode. Next up, we'll be adding in all of our Caterium stuff that we really need. And I think by the end of next episode, we should be at the end of at least this part of the project where we're making the uranium fuel rods and the electromagnetic control rods. That's what this whole area is basically going to be turned into. So once that's done, then we can finally, which I think we should be able to get to at the end of the next episode. Then the following episode will actually be putting together the actual nuclear power plants, so which I'm super excited for. We'll get a whole bunch more power. And then we can finally start into completing those phase 4 elevator parts, because I think each one, I need like 25,000 megawatts for each one. So it's going to be quite a little bit of work. But yeah, other than that, I will see you guys in the next episode. Have a good one.